Hey everyone, Marcus here. Great to see you all again. Today we're going to be looking at this, the LG QN600 monitor. I got this on a Black Friday sale for about $250 Canadian. Today we're going to talk about some of the stats, some of the day-to-day usage, the design, and my final thoughts. Okay, let's go over the stats here. This monitor that we're reviewing here is a 27-inch monitor. It has QHD resolution, which is 2560 by 1440. The panel type is IPS, and in terms of response times, it has a 5 millisecond response time with a 75 Hz refresh rate. It comes with AMD FreeSync technology and has a 99% sRGB color reproduction. It also has HDR10 and a contrast ratio of 1000 to 1. Before jumping into the review here, a little bit of a disclaimer. I am reviewing this from an everyday user perspective. I'm a casual gamer and my monitor is used mostly for productivity, photo, or video editing. I'm not a professional designer, so I won't be able to speak to the nuances of the color accuracy. However, at this price point, it is an entry-level monitor, and I wouldn't really be expecting any professionals to be buying this monitor for anything other than a backup. Talking a little bit here about the unboxing and setup, it is a pretty standard unboxing. The monitor is well protected under foam, and the monitor stand and base are all separated. So when you open this up, you'll have to do the assembly yourself. Thankfully, the assembly is incredibly simple and only took me about 5 minutes to do. All I had to do was attach the arm to the base by tightening the screw, then connect the arm to the back of the monitor with a simple click. Removing the monitor stand is also very simple. You simply pull down on the quick release lever and the monitor stand should easily come out. Looking at what else is in the box, it's nice to see that LG included one HDMI cable and one DisplayPort cable. I'm not sure why, but they also included this, which is a CD. I haven't touched a CD in a long time, and well, it's 2021. I'm pretty sure whatever's on here, the drivers, whatever LG included, can be downloaded from their website. At this point in time, I haven't had a CD reader in any of my laptops or computers for a very long time, so I'm really not sure what's on this. At this point in time, all the CDs I do have are extremely old, and they're mostly glorified coasters for my drinks. Talking about design here, the bezels on the side and top of this monitor are very thin at about 0.5 centimeter, and the bottom bezel here is about 1.5 centimeters. In terms of connectivity options, you do have 2 HDMI ports, 1 display port, and 1 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. The weight of the monitor with its stand is about 12.5 pounds. The stand itself is stable, but if you're a heavy typer, you will notice some shaking of this monitor. Speaking of the stand, let's talk about the adjustments. The stand is very limited in terms of its adjustment ability. You can only tilt the monitor up and down. You can't adjust the height of the monitor or the horizontal left and right angles. Thankfully, this monitor is VESA compatible, so if you want the flexibility and the ability to make fine adjustments, you can do that by attaching a quality monitor arm. Now, when we talk about the menu of the monitor, one of the things I like about LG monitors is their menu layout and the joystick control. Some manufacturers still use this multi-button system where you have to reach behind the monitor and guess at which button you're actually pressing. But that's not the case on the LG monitor here. On the LG monitor, you do have the joystick, which is pretty straightforward and intuitive in terms of how you navigate the menus here. Let's talk a little bit about day-to-day use. Clearly, this is an entry-level monitor. The panel is IPS, but it's a low-quality panel. The contrast ratio, like I said before, is 1000 to 1, which isn't great on dark images or scenes in a movie. It doesn't quite get black enough, and it starts to look blue or gray, and you can actually see some panel glow, which I personally find very distracting. What made this even more obvious was that the laptop that I used connected to this monitor was an OLED screen, and it has a much higher contrast ratio. When we're talking about the viewing angles are pretty bad for anything that's not directly head-on. Even then, looking at it head-on, things don't look great. There are times where I find myself moving around so that the image looks clearer. There are also no speakers included with this monitor, so you will need to use the speakers in your laptop or connect some external speakers via the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. For the resolution of this monitor, it is UHD, and like I said before, that's 2560 by 1440. And for a 1440p monitor, the clarity is not great. It could be the contrast or the viewing angles, but for me, the clarity and text just didn't look good. It doesn't look like a 1440p monitor. You can clearly see pixels when you're looking at text, and when I compared this to my other 1440p monitors, the text just looked way smoother on those monitors. Now when it comes to color reproduction, the LG QN600 has great color reproduction. This is likely due to its 99% sRGB color coverage. And when you look at sRGB, this is the most popular color space that's used for Windows, most web browsers, as well as console and PC games. So for this monitor here, the color saturation and reproduction is pretty good. It's not quite as good as my laptop's OLED screen, but when using the monitor, I didn't find myself wishing that the QN600 had better color reproduction. Alright, time for my final thoughts here. So the LG QN600 is a budget 1440p monitor that does make a lot of sacrifice to reach that entry-level price point. The monitor's strengths are that it's lightweight, it's slim, it's got a near bezel-less design, and has fantastic color reproduction. Where this monitor does run into issues is that it has poor viewing angles, the contrast ratio is not great, and the lack of clarity on the screen. If you're on a budget and need the 1440p resolution, and you're willing to accept the lower quality panel, then this might be the screen for you. Personally, I'd suggest saving up for a higher tier monitor, or if your budget is set, I'd say go with a better quality 1080p monitor. The part of the computer that you stare at most is your computer screen. So, in my opinion, a lower quality panel just isn't worth the downsides. In my case, my eyes became strained and fatigued, and I even started to get a headache after prolonged use. So for me, this monitor is definitely going to be returned. So what did you think? Would you take the trade-offs for a lower price monitor with a higher resolution? Or is there another 1440p monitor that you'd recommend over the QN600? Let me know in the comments section below. Thanks everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.